Day in the life as a chef on a yacht. I made the crew a hearty breakfast of eggs, sausage gravy, and bagels. After breakfast, the crew went on a walk and came back with these gorgeous flowers. Our Stu is an amazing florist, and she made these look gorgeous. I went down into the galley and repackaged food to help extend their shelf life. My cantaloupe was ripe, so I cut that up, and also cut up some cabbage that I'll use in coleslaw. The trash was full, so I walked it over to the marina dumpster. For lunch, the crew's having a salad, leftover rice, and Chinese food. We're finally getting guests in this afternoon, so we're very excited. I started prep for dinner by cutting up some mushrooms, Brussels sprouts that I'm going to roast off, and potatoes and parsnips that I'll mash up. The plan for dinner is to sear off some ribeye steaks, so I have those in Ziploc baggies with some salt and pepper on them. And to finish off the meal, I am serving apple cobbler as a dessert. I'm not much of a baker, so kinda winging the recipe. I hope it turns out good. If not, I always have the Ninja Creamy as backup. While I was working on dinner, the rest of the crew worked on making this yacht look incredible. Brian did the outside of the boat, Captain Mark worked on any projects that he had, and the Stu worked on making the beds and also making the floral arrangements. We put the flowers on all of the tables, and the boat looked absolutely incredible. For cocktail hour tonight, I'm making bacon wrapped scallops, and all we have to do is now wait for our guests to come in. They left Miami this morning at 5 a.m. on a 40-foot boat, and it's 6 p.m. here, so we'll see. Follow along to see what I make for dinner. Bye, little chef. Day in the life as a chef on a yacht. I got changed into my evening uniform and started making drinks for cocktail hour. I'm making some mint gin gimlets. And to go along with the cocktails, I'm serving some bacon wrapped scallops. While the guests are enjoying cocktail hour, I'll start cooking dinner. I'll start off by roasting my Brussels sprouts and then make a truffle Dijon cream sauce that I'll put on top of my steak, with some butter, heavy cream, truffle salt, and some Dijon mustard. Saute my mushrooms to get that nice golden brown color, get a pan ripping hot to sear off my steaks, throw butter and cream into my potatoes and parsnips, and mash those up. I'll finish off the steak by basting it with garlic butter and then setting it off to the side to rest for 10 minutes. Slice it up, and we got that beautiful medium rare. Now on to plating. I use the little table in the galley to plate all of my food. It's the only area with a pretty large amount of table space. I'll put down my parsnip mashed potatoes, roasted Brussels sprouts, perfectly cooked sliced ribeye, and finish it with mushrooms and that truffle cream sauce. Dinner's served on the upper deck tonight, and while the guests are eating, I'll plate up their desserts. The apple cobbler turned out great, and I served that with a side of vanilla ice cream. After I cleaned up the galley, I made myself a plate. I wait to eat my dinner after everything's cleaned up in the galley. That's the only time I feel relaxed enough to eat. Bye, little chef.
Abby!
What?
Where's the cameras?
It's right here. They're recording. What's up?
You better go upstairs and record.
What's going on?
Great news.
What is the great news?
You'll see.
Gina made a flower arrangement?
Oh my god, there's a bunch of them.
They're so beautiful.
You better go film.
Okay, I'm gonna go film. So pretty.
Look at the heist.
Where'd you get those? That's gonna be pretty. Oh, wow. Those look beautiful. Good job, Gina.
Last for one day.
I know. Wow.
Where did Gina get the flowers?
From the side of the road.
Mark?
Brian.
We finally have guests coming in, so the tables are set. Gina did a beautiful job on the flowers. We finally have guests coming in, so the tables are set. All of the covers are off of the couch. The galley's nice and clean. I'm baking some apple cobbler right now. Sir Thurston. Thurston! Good boy. Good boy. We're waiting for our guests to arrive. They should be here soon. Table out back is Thurston's tap lick in my ear. Table out back is also set. This table's set with gorgeous flower arrangements made by Gina.
Hello, chefs.
There's Brian. Wow!
Where did Gina get the flowers?
Where'd you get them?
From the side of the road.
Mark?
Brian. He heisted them.
Why'd we blame Brian?
Not only am I the chef on this yacht, I'm also the bartender, which I think goes hand in hand with cooking. They're both very creative, and once you know these basic drinks, you can do spin-offs of them and make them your own. Tonight we're doing a play on a gin gimlet. I'm using gin, lemon juice, a mint syrup that I made, and fresh mint. Garnish it off with more fresh mint, a lemon wedge, and these guests need some food now. So now I'm working on bacon wrapped scallops. I'll throw those into the oven and serve them as an appetizer. We have cocktail hour every night on this yacht, and it makes the transition into dinner service really smooth. I serve the cocktails and appetizers up on the bow of the boat. This allows me space in the galley and in the dining areas to set up the table and get everything prepared without the guest even seeing. That way, when dinner is ready, I can call the guest to the dining room and magically the dinner is set up. I know that cocktail hour truly lasts an hour, so during that time, I work on cooking dinner. And the stew helps me set the table. Bye, little chef. I work best in stressful situations. So those 5 minutes before dinner service on this yacht, they're my favorite. I grew up playing lots of sports. I was the goalkeeper on my soccer team, I played competitive golf and lacrosse in college. Whenever my coach was yelling at me, that's when I performed the best. I was on this golf tournament, and the first 9 I completely botched. As we rounded to hole 10, I stopped in the bathroom, looked in the mirror, and yelled at myself. And sure enough, the back 9, I shot 1 over par. So when I'm in the galley and plating up dinner, I think of it as a sport. When I get the dinner request for a certain time, you better believe that I'm going to be right on time. And it's not like you can be early for dinner because the food just sits out and it's going to get cold. So the time management and logistics of everything really get me excited. The kitchen is my happy place, and I am so thankful that I am in a job that I love. Growing up, I just thought cooking was a hobby. I never thought it would be an incredible career. Bye, little chef. I forgot to bring a peeler on this yacht, which has made things quite challenging. I guess somebody thought it would be a perfect time for me to freshen up my knife skills. But that's the thing about going on these long yacht trips. Once you leave the States, you don't have access to everything that you need to. Thankfully, the peeler is the only thing that I've noticed missing so far. And look, we're making it work. I have my knives on board, and that's really the only thing I care about. A lot of you have asked how I got these knives on board. When I drove down to Miami, I brought my clothes, pots and pans, knives, and left them on board. After I provisioned the boat, I went to a friend's wedding and then flew from Philadelphia to Nassau with just a backpack. And then when I leave the yacht, my parents will pick me up in Miami with a car. So I never fly commercially with my knives. Last year, I did fly out of the Bahamas back into Florida and didn't take my knives because I didn't want to check anything. So they just shipped me my knives after the yacht got back into the States. A chef does not go anywhere without their knives. Bye, little chef.